Hello and welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. So, we are in the puzzle dungeon and we are carrying on. We found a new area and it may contain the bits that we need in order to actually, progress. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try and progress. You know what we might also do? Bring the rest of our party with us. I know, it's a strange idea, but we'll do it this time. Right. Do we still have the greed debuff? Oh yeah, of course, you gotta have that greed debuff, it's great. Right, carrying on. Time to kill another spider. Yeah, I suppose we'll turn these on, why not? Even if the fights are easy, we might as well, pretend that they're difficult, and then later on, oh, they actually managed to hurt us. But yeah, then later on when the fights get difficult again, we're not, under-preparing. That's kind of the logic, isn't it? Ooh, wonderful damage off the charge. Attack.
I'll remove this obstacle.
That's a miss, and kill it. Excuse me. Lan?
We won't.
There we go. Now it's dead. Right. There's one of the blue things that we were missing. So, yeah, that's perfect. I think for one of the... Oh, hello.
We won't fall here.
I think for one of the puzzles, we were only missing one blue thing. So that's actually really good for us. 7 attacks, let's go.
Why not both?
Okay, we only hit twice, not great for 7 attacks. Buff, debuff, charge. There we go. Charge. And shoot.
You won't survive me.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot of misses. Luckily, we'll just survive whatever it's done here. Attack. 3 more misses. Tries to petrify us, but we succeeded at a fortitude saving throw. I think we might be immune anyway. Anyway.
Distract them from me.
Okay, we lowered AC. Fantastic. So we actually have a chance of hitting here. I'm going to do this, just to hit them with some debuffs, which might help us. Could charge here, but I'm going to attack this guy. Very good damage and kill. Hey, and we've almost killed it. Okay. Probably good that Nenio didn't walk in there. Walk all the way up. They don't get a stab. Shoot. And we can probably turn off that dispel. Doesn't really matter because it still applies for that round, but whatever. Cool. Grab this. And let's do some healing. So, I can't help but notice that wasn't very much of a puzzle. Maybe down here we don't get puzzles, we get fighting. That was kind of the case in the previous zone as well. Or, yeah, in the previous zone, the downstairs area was basically just a fight. It was the one that we had to run through. Are we heavily encumbered? No, we're medium. Okay. That's fine. Oh, hello.
Get another obstacle.
These two should not be a problem. Charge. Okay, there are spiders in here. That's slightly more of an issue. Do all this. You can charge to this person. Perfect. That means that our debuff is hitting everybody. And we got the sneak attack on it. That's fine. And they're all trying to hit us and missing, which is great. Go in. Shoot.
Make every strike count.
Okay, shoot.
And grace.
Attack. Another spider. Okay, that's fine, I think. Charge. That was a pretty bad miss. We killed it though. Here, I think I might use Aeon Bane again. Yeah, just do some D spells. It works really well for us. I think that's a good idea. Lan. We're going to move another 5 foot closer because I don't think he's within 30 right now, and then we're just going to start shooting. Probably these guys, just because we can kill them. It seems like a good place to start. And I'm only going to get Lan to shoot those guys because I want them to explode. Now, the question is, do we try a Phantasmal Killer? Almost certainly successful. Oh, it's a construct. Well, yeah, that's good point. Well made. I don't know. Attack. Oh, just did 50 damage to us. Not a huge fan of that. Charge. Charge. Hey! And we got Destructive Dispel because of how we actually attacked this one. Perfect. That one's dead. Cool. We can blow up the one that's low on health, which will be great for us.
You won't survive
Cool.
me.
The other one's missed, but at least we got rid of a priestess and did a little bit of explosion damage. Shout. Cool. Just trying to make sure that CC stays on. Shadow Demon also spawned off of that. And then charge. And attack.
Cover me, all right?
Good. We've lowered the AC. Get in here. We are being attacked a little bit. Let's shoot the one that's stunned, because that is... Oh yeah, move 5 feet closer. Then shoot the one that is stunned, because we're likely going to be able to hit every hit on it. Okay, cool. Shoot this one. Okay, it's dead. Nenio, attack.
Mind over muscle.
Shadow Demon goes in. Get a little hit, and kill it. There we go. Wonderful. Let's grab all the loot. Again, not really anything we need here. Yeah, more loot we don't need. Let's get into position and heal up. And again. Quick save. And let's go. Carrying on. Oh, there is some loot down here. I'm guessing that's what we're after. Ooh, it might be one of the green things.
Onwards.
Yeah. Lower religion check.
I am finished.
The symbol etched into the scorpion's chiton belongs to the demon lord Aldenach, the sister and sworn enemy of Aresh Kagel. Ah, so these guys tried to invade this realm, I assume. That's what we're getting at here. And then failed, presumably.
I refuse to accept their
Okay.
statement.
Attack?
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
Well, you could probably assume that that's what these guys are. You know, the mummies are probably the resurrected people who tried to attack. And then the clerics, you know, the only original one. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but it would make some sense. Yeah, some level of sense. Nice.
See that?
Head up here. Shadow Demon still coming in. You charge. You can indeed. Perfect. Charge. That one's dead. Nice storm bolts. Okay, we're still immune to these abilities, no matter how many times you try and apply them to us. This is fine. Stab.
Distract them from me.
Stab the one in front of you. Shoot that one. 5 feet closer. Shoot. Cool. Go and attack this one.
Irrelevant.
Kind of okay damage. Kill it. Didn't get the kill. That's fine. Stormbolts hits us, but we're not really worried about it. This is all fine. It fell over by attacking Sosil, which I think is very funny. Right, charge. And attack the one in front of you. This one. Perfect. Move a little bit forward, start taking shots.
Cross the wrong mongrel.
And attack.
I'll remove this obstacle.
Shadow Demon is still stunned. Charge. Okay. This is fine. I'm not really worried about caustic eruption. Attack.
Time to share your treasures.
That one's very dead. Shoot it.
I will see
And shoot.
won't survive me.
And kill. Nope. Okay, Shadow Demon's free. And kill. Nice Cone of Cold. We're immune to that
Cover me,
one.
all right?
There we go. Cool. Grab the loot. Grab the loot. Really nothing in here. Oh, it's one of those bombs that does damage over time. Who has it? It might just be one last tick. Oh, it might not be a bomb. It might be caustic eruption actually did a thing. I think that's probably it. Yeah, I just want to see over the edge here. Nothing. Okay, that's fine. Right, position ourselves here. And we can move further in. Right, oh, okay, Scorpion Sting we've got a strength test against. Okay. Something like this, and then attack. I love how they crawl out the ground like they're any sort of threat.
Mind over muscle.
Like, oh no, I'm being attacked by like some really low level enemies. What level are they? They're level 22. I suppose they're not technically low level. They just don't do anything.
Why not
But that's also probably because their debuffs don't affect us and they're just not programmed to deal with it. But still. Ooh, I have an idea. This idea is very stupid, but it's something we can try out in the safety of this zone. I want to try it out. Right. This is fine. Attack. And attack.
Listen to reason.
Start stabbing. See, my thought was, why don't we, with Lan, do something like this and use him in melee range? I mean, here's the thing about Lan, right? His AC is 45, our AC is 52, and so Seal's is 47, right? The armor class is fine. So why don't we use him in melee so that his attack of opportunities can actually go off?
Precision.
That was my logic. Now, it does sound kind of stupid to put your archer in the front line, but maybe it's good. We run him next to spellcasters. The other problem is obviously most of the time you want him to stand still, but you know, in longer fights that could probably work. Like most of the time you want him to stand still so he gets his full attack off. Well, yeah, I don't know. I guess if we gave him, if we were to have somehow given him outflank as well, that would have worked out pretty good. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just a thought I was having. I was like, maybe the melee range archer is not stupid.
You're irrelevant.
But
Time to share your
anyway,
treasures.
we'll have a look in a second. I just want to check something about outflank. So, why am I looking at the one character who doesn't have outflank? Why am I looking at a character who has a million traits and we can't find it in the list? Right, feat. Outflank. This only says you have to be flanking a creature. Yeah, so if we gave Lan outflank and then walked him next to other things, he would actually get the attacks of opportunity on that. Yeah, so that actually sounds like a good idea. Alright, so this is a DC 24 strength check. I can't help but feel this is bait. The sting breaks in your hands, leaving them covered in venom. What? You failed the strength check. Wait, you have the highest strength? I'm also going to reload that. He has the highest strength? Really? I was kind of laughing at the strength check for DC 24, but maybe maybe it's actually higher than it seems, because strength isn't a normal check. I mean, I suppose it's not a skill, and I'm used to looking at checks from like a skill point of view. So what's this? So that is... He's got a modifier of 8, so is that just using the base bonus? Yeah, it's just using your base strength bonus. Okay, so he does have the highest. So actually 24 is pretty hard, because you have to roll a 16 on your strength check. Okay, that's fine. Now we have something for this situation. The question is it going to work? Also, do we actually have it in our inventory, or did I give it to a party member? I was looking for the thing that increases your like your stats against one check. I think I gave that to a party member and then never gave it back. Cool. Yeah, I don't think anyone has it. Okay, well, we can reload continuously to try and get the 24 DC strength check. There's probably nothing we can do to raise his strength anymore. Do we have a belt that raises strength? That probably doesn't stack, right? That almost certainly doesn't stack. Also, why are we doing a +2? Why do we have a +2, +2, +2 belt? That's like this is literally doing nothing? Yeah, this literally does nothing. That's very funny. We could replace it with, like, you know, anything, and we might be okay. That's something to think about for later. Let's... Oh, wait, do we have one of these that gives them a roll? Yeah! Yeah, give yourself a more favorable result. Used a bit of luck. Strength check still failed. We rolled a 12 and a 14. Okay. I'm happy reloading this with a bit of luck, because a bit of luck at least gives us the double roll. I'm assuming this is giving us a weapon of some kind. Like a dagger, maybe? A poison dagger? I don't think it's going to be good. I just think it could be interesting. So, that's what I'm doing. But, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's not the best weapon in the game.
Let me help.
It could be. Do I have any of these other ones that are good? I should use Touch of Good, then use a bit of luck. Touch of Good. A bit of luck. Do it. The sting fits comfortably in the hand. It can be used as a poisonous dagger if desired. Nice. So we gained Scorpion Sting. It's a +5. That's not bad. I can keep pressing that. I don't believe I keep getting daggers, but, you know, it's worth having a look. Right. New dagger. So it does 8 to 21, which is pretty good. It's a +5 caustic dagger. What is caustic? 2d6 points of acid damage on a hit. Is that counted into his damage into the damage calculation already? Yes, but for Music of Death, so is the Sonic one. Okay. Yeah. So this is going to do more damage. It's going to hit more often. It's just better? Yeah, it's literally just better. Okay. Yep. That is better than Music of Death. Like, I was trying to think of a reason why this was better, but there's none. I mean, unless we think Sonic damage is better than acid damage. Which it could be, because Sonic is less blocked than acid, but I don't know. I think the hitting more often is probably good. Now, the next question is Scorpion Sting better than Astringent Pacifier? To which the answer is no, because Astringent Pacifier is this weapon, but better. It's this weapon plus more. Okay. What's Sacrificial again? I guess a +2 to its enhancement bonus when it's against a helpless foe. Okay, well that's pretty good. Yeah. Okay, I'm happy with that one. Also, let me just check what the check was with this now. So the strength check was only just passed. Oh no, our modifier was +17. Okay, yeah. So we made the modifier basically. Yeah, we made it much better with that there. So what is it? It's equal to half your level in the class that gave you this access to this domain. Well, our class's level is level 20, or are we level 19? Class is level 19. Yeah. So, I mean, half could be 10 or 9, but still, that's pretty good. I guess it's 9. It must be 9 because he gets a +8 here. So yeah. Still, pretty good. Right, let me just see. Anything else over here?
Something over there.
Ooh. Yeah, we got trash. Nice.
Let us be off.
At least the dagger was good. I'm happy that by doing that, we at least got something that was worthwhile. It would have been terrible if we did all that and we got, like, it's a +2 dagger. Like, okay.
Let's move.
I will take the green binding stone. Where's my fight? Hello. There it is. Oh. Right. We have to return on a buff, but luckily we go first, and then I'm just going to charge my way directly at this spider. Is it the same as every other spider? No, it's actually, like, potentially a stronger one. Okay. You're going to head up here. then I don't know. Wait, do we have multiple spiders? And if so, where are they? Guess they haven't spawned in yet, or they're out of our vision. Okay, polar ray. Okay, we're out of range. That's fine. Lan, this is a great turn to just chuck yourself right up here. You as well, up here. Shoot.
Out of my sight.
I'm gonna use Quicken. No, I'm not. That's just a complete waste. I should have used it first if I was gonna use it. I'm just gonna run over here. Oh, there's one of the other spiders, so it's in a different room. Try to use Disintegrate. Doesn't work. We're not in range to charge, so we will get like this far in, and then maybe, I don't know, Jolting Portent. So when it attacks, it might take electricity damage. Nice Disintegrate. I'm going to use Aeon Bane and then attack it. Okay. Icy Prison. Succeeded at his reflex saving throw, but still going to take some damage. Right. Study target. Shoot. Okay, we did some damage to it. Heal. That was our last AoE heal like that. Will Jiff go stand next to this guy?
Me, all right?
Casting some things at us. Can't charge, unfortunately. I guess we're gonna go and attack. Okay, lost Dex on Lan. Not the worst thing in the world. Got a couple of hits on it. Don't think there was anything left to dispel. Polar Ray. Miss. Oh, that's not good. Oh, just had a concealment miss. Oh well, at least Shadow Demon can come in and attack. And Lan, attack it.
You brought the wrong model.
Okay, and then these aren't the like these aren't as strong as that one. Can I charge either of these? Yes. Well, we'll charge in that one. You can't charge, but you can attack. That's very good damage in terms of a crit. Attack.
We can do it.
Okay. And attack.
Hand over muscle.
Shadow Demon's coming in with us. Shoot it. See, that was the problem I was saying with melee Lan, is obviously you don't want to move him each turn, so, you know, there's no real purpose to it. It's the only purpose is if we know we can get an attack of opportunity. It's a way to get it. Okay, that's fine. Head round here. Head round here. Shadow Demon's heading over. Lan is going to shoot it.
You won't survive me.
Or not.
I'll make short work.
We're going to shoot it. Or not.
Stab you or zap you?
Bulljiff.
Why not both?
Or not.
I
Attack.
will bring down the divine wrath.
Okay. Attack. It's very dead. Right, no loot there, but that's because the loot that we got was from this thing. So we already knew what we were getting from that fight.
Rules are made to be
I
broken.
should be able to replace one of these with like a heal, right? No. I thought I could replace these with a heal somehow. Or do I just have the heals on my... I just have heals. Okay, yeah. That's how I do it. I just don't have them on my bar any longer. There we go. Cool. So that got us a green orb.
It might be trap.
More loot.
Might be treasure.
Any more blue orbs around? No. So we got our one blue orb. But this takes us somewhere else. So once we athletics up here, we might end up somewhere else which has more blue orbs.
The mongrel did it.
Okay. So we got loot. Hey! Stupid diary. Iomedes' holy writings brought here by an unknown paladin. I'm writing this, therefore I exist. Alright. Do you say so?
Pretty good, aren't I?
Hey! Medium armor? Singing steel breastplate +5. well, it's competing against our Great Bear. Let's have a look. So armor class is the same. Dex bonus is higher, which is nice. The dex bonus being higher means it is 1 more AC. So we would lose cold resistance, maximum fortification, and spell resistance. I'm sorry, what is fortification again? Oh, it lowers the chance of a crit. Okay, yeah. What is singing steel? Okay, that's a lot of text. This lustrous golden metal emits beautiful bell-like tones when struck. An alloy of gold and mithril, singing steel was originally created by the elves. Well, we are an elf, so that's very, good for us to know. Most armor made of singing steel is treated as one category lighter. Heavy armors are still treated as medium. Medium armors are treated as light, but light armor is still treated as light. The armor and shield spell, arcane spell failure chance is reduced by 5%, and its maximum dexterity bonus is increased by 1. Armor check penalty is reduced by 1. Fair enough. The wielder or wearer can strike the singing steel as part of beginning a bardic performance. If the wielder can normally start a bardic performance as a standard action, you can do so as a move action instead. If the wielder can normally start a bardic performance as a move action, you can do it as a swift action. If they can normally start a bardic performance as a swift action, you can do it as a free action. Ah. We're not a bard. Well, that's a problem. Now, we do have the ability to lower corruption. Do we want to rest? No. But it's good to know that we have the option. Yeah, it's good to know we have the option, but we don't actually need to rest right now. So that was this area. So that has now given us 1 extra blue orb. Now, I think that will let us solve a puzzle. And that would then hopefully give us another blue orb, which will then let us solve another puzzle, which will then, so on and so forth. So let's try this. Can we solve a puzzle with this orb? Well, also solve. We'll see what the puzzle is before I say solve. If it's the arrow puzzle, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna bother. I'm just gonna look it up. Tic-tac-toe though? We'll do tic-tac-toe. No problem. So this one. Do we need to put a thing in here? We do. Wait, we can put green in there. Oh no, this already lights up all the way over to here. Okay. Yeah, so this was a base. If I follow this to the right, we need... You know what? Everybody else, we've killed everything. You stand there.
I stand
Let's do a little running around. Also, anyone fatigued? I forgot to check. Nobody is fatigued. Cool. 1, 2, 3. Okay. We need 3 for this side. It's the arrow puzzle. I'm just gonna, look it up. That's okay. Right. So we do that. I then go and press this. This should then activate the arrow puzzle. Does that activate the arrow puzzle?
Onwards.
Wait, I thought this would activate the arrow puzzle if I did this. There we go. Yeah. Don't know what it did on the first hit, but that's okay. Wait, this hasn't activated this puzzle? Look at this. This isn't activated. Oh, wait a second. Does this only activate if we put a green thing in here, granting it stuff from the middle? No, because that would need to be... Yeah, so that's got a light going here, from here, this way. Did I already solve this one? Am I in the already solved area? I'm in the already solved area. I'm solving puzzles we've already done. Yeah, that's why it looks so familiar. It's because I've already done this one, I think. Wait, unless I'm crazy? No, we've already done this puzzle. Yeah. I went the wrong way, maybe? I don't know. Let's assume we already solved this puzzle. Yeah, because this opened these doors. We walked through here. Wait, no. Wait a second. This opened these doors. Right, and we walked through here. Don't get lost. Alright, so we went right, and we went left. to a forbidden chamber and to the ruined passages. Now we're going to
Let's
go
move.
straight on. Straight on leads us down to this. Now, how could I ever believe that this room was the same as the other room? I don't know. Obviously, they're completely different looking.
I'll make my own
Right,
magic.
so this was in here. 1, 2. Got shocked out of my mind. 3. Okay, yes, this is a correct path. So let's put one in here. Oh, everybody needs to be here as well, because we're gonna have to fight. I try not to get shocked at loud noises. Fail, but you know, try. Okay, right. So this is puzzle number 2 for arrows. I'm just gonna look it up. Right, so this is puzzle number 2, which gives me this solution. So let me have a look. Something like this. Let's just arrange ourselves
Follow me.
roughly the same as
I tire
my
of waiting.
reference picture. Because this is, we know the solution is you need to go and look at all the runes that are in the area up until this point. So, yeah. I'm just not worried about this one. There we go. Anything that's like, you know, any kind of puzzle that's just like spot the difference on the wall, I'm not really into. Okay, I might have got a little bit spooked.
There is no greater satisfaction
There
than
we go.
overcoming a challenge.
Do this one.
That is, of course, until one day the challenge overcomes you.
I did it. Cool. Yeah, there we go. Not at all paranoid.
Already?
And, charge it. Oh, wow, they take a lot of damage, huh? Do you have any AoE left? Not really. One of these, I guess? They're immune to burning arc? Well, you know. That's fine. Activate a couple of these. Forgot that these aren't actually strong. Charge. And shoot it. Nice. Stab
Distract
it.
them for me.
Good. That one's dead. And attack it. And attack it. Very good. Right. So now we can press this button. This button opens the door. Now, before we go any further, what we need to make sure to do is to collect all of these, because we need these for later. Right, grab this one. Back another room. Right, so those are the 3 that we had, and we now still have them. Right. Out this way, out in front. Now, I'm assuming in here we're going to get more blue. Yeah, there's another blue stone in here. Okay, like, you know, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me 20 times, shame on me. None of the loot is real. Okay, I got it. None of the loot is real. I might finally have internalized it. More greed. More greed. Okay. Straight on. So now we've solved that. It does look like there's a room, like, right to our right here. Like, in here, maybe? Oh, yeah, it's past these guys, of course. So they're not activated yet. So I'm assuming that we do the exact same thing, but the other direction. Let's just activate this while we're here. Ah, that can point that way. That's what this does. It's just rotating.
Let's prove their logic is lacking.
Okay, now they're active. Why are they active? I'm not entirely sure. That's okay. Get over here. Get over here. Get over here. It's nice it gave us a turn to basically get back to where we should be. Yeah, charge up here. No, I'm gonna delay. You guys come to me. I'm not gonna attack you. You come to me. This is fine. Right, now we'll attack it.
We won't falter.
And you can attack it. And you can attack it. And you can
Time to
attack
share
it.
your treasures.
Eternal Rose, I call upon
Cool.
you.
They're running away apparently. Take some shots. I kind of thought they might come closer. Shoot them. That's fine. Charge. Oh, wonderful crit.
Did you see that?
This is fine. Alright, I guess I'm going to run you up. I guess I'm not going to run you up. Neither of them know how to get over there in turn-based mode. Okay. Well, in which case, as the only person with a weapon with a, large enough reach to actually hit the enemy, you can, attack. Yep, they do not know how to reach that location. Yep, skip. And attack. Very good crit. Cool. So we can go this way now? Aha! And we can get another blue one. Fantastic. Now, I did kind of think that we wouldn't have enough blue stones for this route, but I assumed that the game would provide, and the game, to its credit, did provide. So, stick in a blue crystal.
Let's move.
Yes, of course, we do still have the things that are going to shoot us with different effects. Like, we just have to accept this, or like be very lucky in our random timing. Okay. What?
What's that? Check
Perception
that out.
check behind a perception check. Basically nothing in here. Alright. How did we not pass this protection... Sorry, how did we not pass this perception check earlier?
Follow me.
Who knows? Right, one in here. Is this activated this yet, or do I need like another in here? Probably need that one. Has this activated it? It has. Wonderful.
March on.
Now, I'm assuming that this follows the same logic in that there can be no more than 3 in a straight.
We should move.
Yeah, there can be no more than 3 in a straight, so let's have a look here. Are there any gimmies here? Well, this has to be green, right? Because that, there's 2 in a row. This also has to be green. This cannot be green. Wait a second. Do we have different rules here, or is it like no... Maybe it's no more than 5 in a straight? We must have different rules here, because that has to be green. That is a diagonal of 3 greens. Let me have a look here at this one. That's a 5 by 5, and that's where we got our clue for how to solve it previously. Maybe we'll just go for reducing numbers. Well, we've got 3 in a row here, right? Let's assume that this is no more than 4 in a row, right? It's a larger puzzle. That could be it, right? So we'll assume that this one, therefore, has to be green. Which means this one doesn't have to be green. This one doesn't have to be green at all. This one has to be red by my new logic, and this one also has to be red. Okay. This would also have to be red. And this would also have to be red. See, this seems to me like this is correct, because there are so many ones that are like, this has to be this, based upon previous information. Right. That one had to be red, because that would have made it 4 green. That is fine here. So now what? Now is there an obvious one? Yes, this is an obvious one. That's a very obvious one. This means that this has to be green. Not that one. That one could be it. That one actually does have to be green. That had to be green because it blocks the diagonal. This one has to be red. And this one also has to be red. Do we have anything else? Any other obvious ones? Well, that can be any color. This one has to be red. Okay, this one has to be green. That therefore has to be red. I've done something wrong. Because that... So one of these can be... That can be red. Wait, nope. I've done something wrong. Maybe that can be green? No, because that has to be red. Because these are locked in. Okay. So, So what have we got? So we got 4 in a row here. Does this one have to be red? Well, if that one's green, that doesn't have to be red. Can this one be red? This could be red, which lets that one be green. Lets that one be red, which lets that one be green. Yeah. This is fine. I don't think we've got anything that's wrong here. Yeah, except that didn't actually fix that issue. Wait a second. So, green. That could be green. No, it couldn't. Oh, I'm lost. I'm lost in the puzzle here. Alright, let me have a look at this. This is what I moved it to now. Correct. 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 I think we're fine. Yeah. This can be any color. This one would have to be green. Which means this one has to be red. This one has to be red. Which means this one, all the way up here, has to be green. It also means that this one has to be green. It means that this one has to be red. Okay.
Let us be off.
This is fine. This one has to be red. Just because otherwise that'd be 4 in a row. The other ones, there appear to... I think there might be multiple solutions to this, but maybe I'm wrong. That one has to be red. Because otherwise the diagonal's too much. This one has to be green. Yep. This can currently be anything. Let's make it green. Sure. Why not? Up in the top corner. 1, 2, 3, 4 reds in a row. That's obviously not right. So that's going to be green. Gonna make this one red. That's not right. Can I make this one red? I think I've already done this. Like, there's too many greens in a row. There's like 5 greens in a row. That's way too many. I'm lost in the puzzle again? Okay. Let's just work out where we're at, because we obviously have some incorrect stuff here. This row is fine. 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 Let me just change like this one to red, right? Just for just now. Just make an assumption, right? That's red. This row is fine. You know what? I'm also going to make that red. Now I'm going to make this green. So, can I get my pets off this board? Hey, get off the board. Woljif, you're the new puzzle master. So, correct, 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 correct. Turn the puzzle. Correct this way. 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 Okay, turn the puzzle. We're doing diagonals. That one's fine. That one's fine. That one's fine. That one is fine. This one is fine. This one is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one is incorrect. This line here is incorrect. If I switch this, that's going to be wrong. Which one can I switch? I can switch 2 of them. If I switch this one will be wrong. I could switch somewhere further down the line. Either of these, switching would be incorrect because of the current lineups that we've got. Okay. If I switch this one, can I switch? I can't switch there. So I could switch here. Let's do this. Let's do this with consequences. So red, green, red, green. Okay. Correct. 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 Wrong. So this corner is incorrect now. Let's make this one green. I see no issue with that. There's barely any green around it. Let's make that one green. Correct. 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 Right. Now we're going to go another diagonal. That one's fine. That one's fine. Fine. I'm just using a different word for variety. Fine. Fine. Absolutely horrible. Alright, so I created like the worst possible one. Can I make you red? No. Red, green? I might be going in circles. Alright, back to this one. Fine, 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 fine. You know, I almost find it easier to do diagonals this way. Fine. 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 Horrible. I want to get one in the middle. If I can't get one in the middle, I have to do 2. I'm going to make this one green. By doing that, I upset the balance. That would have to be red. Okay. I see the consequences are as that has to be green and we're back to square one. So this one is green. What's the other one? We can change this one. Okay. So that is red. Nope, that's locked in as the other one. I would really hate this if I find out that it's actually 5 that we have to get them up to. Rather than 4. That has to be red. We're back to the same space that we were in 2 seconds ago. Let's make this one green. By doing that, this one has to be red. By doing that, this one has to be green. By doing that, this one has to be red. By doing that, this one has to be green. I don't see an immediate issue. Okay. Back to working this out. Lines, fine. Lines, fine. Lines, fine. Lines, fine. Lines, fine. Alright. Well, I see an immediate issue. That's 4 in a row. I'm going to make this... That's also 4 in a row. Oh, ugh.
Fine.
This is annoying. This is very annoying. If I press tab, I can see the ones that I can change. Okay, that's kind of useful. Is there a reset puzzle button? I want to reset back to before I messed it up. Okay. From first principles, what is correct? So these two are, you know, immovable objects. I think I probably messed it up by just trying whatever.
You sure it's safe?
Can I wait? How do I even press the button? I guess I just have to solve the. No, I just have to solve the puzzle. Okay. There is no button. All right, I'm gonna turn them all back to nothing. We're gonna solve the puzzle. But now we have a rough idea of our methodology. We can figure this out a little bit better. Let's only lock in 100% secure things. I obviously got something wrong on my first run through. So if it's not 100% secure, we don't lock it in. That's the new rule. It has to be 100% secure before we lock it in. Right. I didn't read the diary from earlier. I just had a sudden thought maybe it has the clues for how to solve the new puzzles. Because it is glowing like it's important. Okay. Captain Ling ordered me to keep these records. He told me that he's going to read them every night to make sure I'm not losing my marbles. It sounds like a load of rubbish to me, but I'm not going to argue with a paladin of Iomade who's 3 times taller than me and twice as wide. No, not a chance. No instance today. Day 2, no instance today. Day 3, Captain Ling told me he won't tolerate my casual attitude to the expedition anymore. These paladins are just bullies. They'll happily beat the living crap out of you, while explaining it's all for the greater good. Blah blah blah, but fine, I'll behave. I am Binaban Rizzle, a gnome, an explorer, and a pathfinder assigned by the Grand Council of Absalom to help the paladins of Iomade on their expedition into the Enigma. I wish I'd never written that article about Aresh Kagal's secrets. If I had known all the trouble it would cause me, I would have never published it in the first place. Damn it, Ling, why am I writing all this? You know perfectly well who I am and what I'm doing here. I don't think that a few prompt killings of a bunch of lesser demons by a squad of well-armed blokes can qualify as instance, so no instance today either. Day 4. We've been walking in circles around the stone labyrinth for 4 days now. My legs are killing me, truth be told. Oddly enough, the food is good. I was expecting field rations, some nondescript gruel, but it turned out that Iomade's paladins aren't opposed to a good dinner. The walls of the labyrinth are covered in strange writings. Some of the inscriptions are truly ancient. They date back to Earthfall times, others have been made more recently. And then there are some I don't recognize at all. And I'm a linguist, mind you. Whenever I fail to translate an inscription, Captain Ling frowns and turns away, but what am I supposed to do? We found significant evidence that all kinds of creatures from different planes and even different worlds used to visit the Enigma. I've already spotted the unholy symbols of the demon lords Baphomet and Aldinach. While the presence of the latter is unsurprising, the sisters have been at each other's throats since birth. The appearance of Baphomet and his cultists is quite intriguing. What does Aresh Kagal, the Keeper of Secrets, have in common with the Lord of Minotaurs, except for their irrepressible fixation on the damned dark labyrinths, of course? Now we know what the connection is, it's that she gave him the clue to get out. Speaking of which, Ling, don't you think that 4 days is a long enough time for a reconnaissance mission? I'm starting to get homesick. You won't believe what happened today. While trudging through this damn labyrinth, we bumped into a group of Aresh Kagal's cultists, a bunch of ragamuffins wearing white masks. Ling hailed them, but when they produced some rusty knives and tried to fight, they were quickly killed for their foolishness. Serves those idiots right. That'll teach them to choose their cultist beliefs more carefully. But that's besides the point. What was strange about these cultists is that they weren't just dying. When they were cut down, they crumbled into dust and vanished into nothing. The bodies disappeared completely. It was unbelievable. All that remained of the cultists was their white masks. Of course, our brave paladins trampled them with their boots, but I managed to salvage one intact. Ha! So, what are you going to do to me now, Ling? Will you try and take it away from me? You wish. According to our contract, you agreed to let me collect non-life-threatening, non-magical archaeological artifacts. So I hereby officially declare that this totally useless white mask is an archaeological artifact. I intend to wear it, walk around wearing it all day, and even go to sleep with it on, and you can do absolutely nothing about it. The last entry is written in an uneven, shaky hand that bears little resemblance to the previous entities. Oh no, it's the consequences of the gnome's actions. Alright, Binaban, focus. Pull yourself together, you spineless moron. So I woke up a moment ago, I stretched, and then I started to wonder why I hadn't heard the paladins. They never allowed me to get a good night's sleep. So I look around, they're all lying on the ground dead. Their fingers were curled into fists, the hair was white. Some of them had hands clutched in their chests, and others had pissed their pants. It was as if they had seen something horrible, something terrifying, but I know what they saw. Ereshkigal's ugly mug, that's what. The legend says that anyone who takes a peek under her mask will either go crazy or die where they stand. So, I was just over here sleeping like a baby in my little mask, and Ereshkigal came to pay them a visit, and why the hell am I still writing this stupid notebook? Ling is dead, kicked the bucket, and his fellow paladins with him. That's it, kaput. I have to get out of here. I need to pick a direction. It doesn't even matter which one, and try to find the exit. I need to keep the mask on. I have no idea what it really is, but without it, I'd be lying next to Ling now, cold and dead. Oh, well, we now know that Ereshkigal's going to kill us if we see her, which is not ideal. So I'm going to reset the puzzle some more. There we go. Puzzle is reset. So, if we're going for 4s, saying 4s are completely out, this has to be red, and this has to be red, right? There's no other answer for that. They both have to be red. This one has to be green. Again, there's no other answer. It just has to be green. Also, you're glowing too much.
I can do this.
So Seal? Oh, you also go much quicker? This is great. This one, therefore, has to be green, and this one also has to be green, right? It's basically just a mirror there. They have to be the same things. Yeah, that's fine. So, this has to be red. Again, there's no choice. This one also has to be red. There is no choice. Now, red, 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 red. This has to be green. Again, there is no choice because if it was red, it would be wrong. Having seen this, we have the line of 3. So this has to be red. This one then also has to be red. Okay? Again, it makes sense. This one has to be green. This one has to be green. Therefore, this one has to be red. And that's blocked off. Cool. Red, red. This one has to be green. Again, it's just a straight up, this is the way it has to be. Green, green, green. This one has to be red. Alright. Following the rule of it has to be this, we have come to the conclusion that we have a wrong answer. I don't know how we have a wrong answer, because everything had to go into its place. Why did this one have to go here? To block off the red line there. I don't know what the puzzle is. I don't know what the puzzle is. That's the answer. That's the straightforward answer, is I don't know what the puzzle is. Okay, I have a new puzzle. Alright, I have a new solution. I'm going to try this one, and if I fail on this one, I'm going to look it up. What if this is not one puzzle? What if this is instead 4 puzzles? These lines are distinct lines that block it off, right? So we could say that it's in quarters. Now, obviously, their line is everyone, but this line looks more solid to me. I don't know why it looks more solid. Maybe I'm going crazy. But what if this is 4 puzzles? And then this is green. This is green. This can't work as 4... Oh no. That could be red. This can't work as 4 puzzles. There isn't a solution for 4 puzzles. Okay, cool. I'm going to look up what the clue to the puzzle is, and then we'll see. Essentially the same, but with a larger grid. Really? That's what we're going for? I'm looking at it. Okay. Yes, I had something wrong. I think.
need to recover my strength.
I think I was right, but I placed something in the wrong place both times. So this has to be red. Oh, wait, are we suffering from fatigue? Wait, Darren is suffering from fatigue? I thought he was immune to fatigue. Wait, what? Yeah, I thought he was immune to fatigue. Wait, he is. Oh. Are you why are we suffering from this? Did somebody just... Oh, you went into fatigue. Okay, that's fine. Right. So this is red. Maybe I got something wrong. Maybe I got a diagonal wrong. Apparently all 3 of these are red. That is green. Yeah. This one, green, 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 red. Green, red. Red. I'm gonna have to look at this when it's done and go, right, where was I going wrong? So this is green. This one's red. Maybe I just went wrong at like a very simple point early on. I don't know. Maybe I got confused. That's possible. I could believe that. Yeah, so this is it. This green. Maybe I got wrong. Maybe I got it wrong with my diagonals at one point. Must be the answer, because this is green and then that's the solution. Okay, I don't really know. Do you have a lesser restoration? No. You have one, right? Lesser restoration. Let's go. And cure him. He's gonna get stunned. Nope. Okay, we're okay.
Follow me.
Wait, was he not the only person who... Oh, wait, I need to wait for him to not be sickened. Okay, who else is fatigued? Oh, we're
Adventures
fatigued.
await.
Okay, we're definitely going to have to rest soon. Yeah. You're fatigued. Are you also fatigued? It must have passed like a real world hour. Which, you know, lines up, because it's about a real world hour since we started the episode. But that's kind of funny. Right. This one. I can't do anything with this one. Wait, so I did all this, and I still don't have enough, because I need one more stone.
Be careful.
Hello? What's this?
Onwards.
Oh. Well, there's my one more stone. Puzzle solved. There was an invisible wall that we didn't get the first time but got the second time. Well, that'll do it. Cone of Death. That doesn't sound good. Sounds distinctly bad, in fact. Nice cone of cold. Alright. Well, we're missing another one. Any more invisible walls?
Let's move.
Oh, there's these. Yeah, some
My
random
tail is
scrolls.
twitching. Must be a sign.
Random scrolls. Okay. Did I just loot this badly last time, or like...
Can't hide from me.
I must have looted this badly last time.
Follow me.
That's my answer here. We're finding so much more. Maybe our perception was lowered for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. Our perception should be pretty high. Ow. Now I'm trying to figure out if there's somewhere else where there could be an invisible wall. I guess down here? In that, well, no, that's where we want to go, right?
Onwards.
Yeah, is where we want to go. So it can't be an invisible wall there. Here? There could be an invisible wall here. I guess. Let's go. Maybe I need to look up where the blue binding sources are again. Yeah, maybe this wall? There's an arrow pointing to it. Is it fake?
What a discovery.
Okay. The wall is fake.
Let's have some fun.
Hello? Who are you? Minotaur Guard Commander. Oh. Shoot it.
Precision and grace.
Kill it. Oh, she's so far away? Okay, I don't know why she's walking so slowly. Is she still fatigued? No. Don't know. Charge. Oh, is it undead? No, we just missed. We're also almost dead. We do, however, have Last Stand, which is still good. spin this round so we can actually move. Oh, I can't walk. It's a room we can't walk into. That's very annoying. Of course, I can't walk into the... There we go. Now we're in the room.
Cover me, all right?
Charge lets us in the room as well. Shoot him.
I'll make short work of this.
Charge? Oh, that's why she couldn't get in, maybe? Oh no, she just happens to be this far behind for no reason. Oh, unless she ran the other way when I tried to get her to come in melee.
I won't give up.
Right.
We can do
Get rid of a bunch of his buffs, and he exploded into nothing. Cool. Heal? Wonderful. We do need to rest. I really would like... That's a lot of loot. Wait, that's a glaive. That's a glaive with a name. Well, I know somebody who's getting an upgrade.
This is my kind of work.
Hey,
Let us
we got
be
another thing. Tablet with unknown symbols times by 3. You telling me this place didn't have a blue binding source? Okay. Somebody's getting an upgrade. Let's have a look here. Death Pact. So this is a better version of what we were using. Deals an additional 66 unholy damage on a successful charge. Oh. If the charge results in a killing blow, it summons a 1 CR19 glue to fight alongside you for 1 minute. Unholy. So it deals more damage to good alignment. Yeah. But does unholy... Here's the question. Is unholy damage only effective against good people, or does the unholy thing only do damage against good usually? Yeah, that doesn't do unholy damage. Okay, yeah. So this is going to do 66 on a charge. So we lose adamantine, which is very little, I think. It's just masterwork quality. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, I think we upgrade, especially as this is also 2 AC. Look at that. And it's going to mean his charge does 66 plus 1d6 per mythic rank divine damage, which is... So it's doing 15d6 damage on a charge. Plus, on top of that, if he kills... Yeah, we get something else. That's very cool. Now, the thing is, unholy damage, does that affect undead? I think it does. I think it's necrotic that doesn't. I'm only heading out here because I'm thinking, where could there be another secret place? Wait, yeah, what about this door at the end here? How does this door open? How does that door open there? Yeah, how does this door open? Because we know that this room was from the puzzle, right? I'm just going to check the wall. Maybe that's the way back up from somewhere? So I'm still missing one. Yeah, maybe that's the way back up from somewhere. Because we can't get through it right now. Wait, this room's got Fog of War on it? Wait a second. This room's got fog on it, which must mean that this... Yeah, it's a puzzle.
March on.
Fool me once. There we go. There's what we're looking for. The blue binding source. The last one that we needed. Also, of course, I'm going to loot it all. One of these is going to be real. Trust me. I mean, so far none of them are real, and I'm fairly certain we've checked all of them. That's okay. Now this is my kind of puzzle.
I'm always open
Just
to ideas.
pure
World's not
memory
ending
games.
just yet.
I'm assuming that's what this one is. Try it. Okay. That one. Okay. Okay. Something like that. Nope. Ah, they were next to each other. That's why I hadn't seen that one before. Oh, that's wrong. It's there. That's wrong. Yes, it's that one. That one. That one, that one, that one, that one. That one. Here. Yep. That one? No. That one. That. Oh. Okay. No, that's wrong. There we go. There we go. Those two. Those two. Those two. No. We'll get there eventually. That one? No, it's this one. Must mean that these two go together. Yeah. I knew that was wrong going in. There we go. That one, that one. That one. There we go. That opens our last door. Okay. We're getting there. At least there's one puzzle I can solve. The memory game. The one that's the least a puzzle of a puzzle.
I stand
But
ready.
that's fine. It's a loot room. Okay. Okay. Do we fall for it? Hello. No one touches the treasures of Enigma and lives. Your avarice is your undoing. We took damage per greed. I bet we took damage per greed stat. And now we have a cursed aura. You undead? You are undead, huh? What's your reflex like? That's pretty good. Yeah. I don't know. Polar ray. Nice. Shadow demon's in there. One of those, one of those. Get all the way over here with our debuffs. That's a lot of enemies. Very happy we didn't send Nenio in there. Run up. Cool. This is fine. Are they all undead? Nope. Okay, I'll just shoot them then. If they were all undead, I might have considered... Ooh, I definitely want to do a charge if I can here. Alright, his charge is so valuable, I'm going to try and get it to go off next turn. But yeah, if they were all undead, I might have considered doing like some AoE healing, but otherwise I'm fine. Nice weird. I'm immune to weird, by the way, so just so you know. Cool. Maybe one of these. Polar ring. Nice miss. Good, good. Aeon Bane. Just debuff nearly everything they have. Run in here and stab. Shoot this one. Charge. Is there anyone who's lower in health? Nope. I guess you're charging this one. Did I not kill it? Oh. Now I can charge while standing still, I believe. So we might try that this on the next turn. Shoot this one though. That's fine. Attack. Stab a lot.
You are
Wow. Everything turned to sand. Wait, they stole all my loot. Okay. 75 Cloaks of Resistance 4. Drop. Doesn't even, like, impact the weight at all. What's this? Amulet of Hidden Horrors? All invisibility spells become quickened as if using the quicken spell feat. In addition, whenever the wearer of this amulet attacks with a weapon for the first time in a round while invisible, you must pass a will saving throw, becoming panicked, as in the thing they attack. That's kind of cool. We're not going to use it, but it's kind of cool. I'm going to drop all these sickles. And I'm going to drop all these daggers. Cool.
Let us be off.
Just temporarily. Grab that. Grab this. True treasures are always kept in darkness. Thanks. That's probably a clue about where to get the true treasures of this area. But still. Oh, there we go. We can now loot all the things that I wanted to loot all along. I see. If we just, like, waited, you know, 5 seconds, we could have looted it for free and not taken the damage.
Move.
Okay, fine. I get it. You're telling me that, like, perhaps you should do the dungeon then loot, not do the dungeon while looting. I get the, you know, moral of the story. However, free loot. So, you know, who's really the winner? I have free loot. I don't know. Anyway, head over here. More loot over here. We definitely do need to heal, by the way. It's the other part. We are in extreme danger of actually being dead. But, hey,
March on.
that's fine. We're also quite fatigued. As are the characters in game. Well, personally, I'm fatigued by puzzles. It's a little bit of puzzle fatigue. It's okay. We might have a look at what these that puddle of sand is in a bit. Cool. What is the lore on the puddle of sand? Oh,
Missed me already?
it's basically saying it's just, you know, an illusion. Okay, so there was real treasure here, but like, yeah, okay. Let's head this way. We have our last thing that we need, which may unlock the end of the dungeon. I'm gonna heal when we leave this section. That's my current plan, is heal when we leave. Although it did look like our health went up when I quick saved. I think it always does that. It like doesn't calculate certain bits of your, like, I think it might not calculate your temporary buffs until you till you resave. What's this buff? Enigma rejection. You are nothing accepted. Oh, okay. Accepted. Right. Over here. Stick stone in here.
Let us be off.
We have a button to press. This button's going to have a green thing behind it. It's going to be the last green thing we need. Just visualize what we want. Quick save. In case it's a fight. It's not. It's a trap.
Let's move.
Okay. Oh, it's a trap that's good. It's a trap you have to do this to get past. Wait, never mind. Oops.
I'm here. Where else would I be?
Okay, I'm immune to this, so like, cool. Trap disarmed. Wait, did we not even need to come down here? This was optional? This was optional. Okay. Alright then. Good to know. Did it turn off these? Yeah, nope. Nope, it did not. Right, grab some more of these. Grab all the blue stones on the way out in case we need them elsewhere. It's easier to grab them now than it is to grab them later. Next puzzle. There we go. I am going to rest just before we head into the central chamber. Right. The site that I was using, by the way, for solving these puzzles did say, like one of the sections in its contents page did say final puzzle, which worryingly to me sounds like there's more. But we'll see. Although it said final, which might mean only one left. There's a little bit of hope. Let's go. Full rest. We could choose a better one of these. What are we gonna go with? Oh yeah, what's the lucky hand is wool gifs? +5 bonus to skill checks for a day. Whenever you pass a skill check, you roll the dice twice and choose the better result. Oh, cool. Sour Guts is nobody's favorite. It gives you immunity to poison and disease, otherwise known as useless. Screaming Omelette is sealess. Oh. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go for the lucky hand sandwich. Let's go. Yes. It's an auto pass. Everything else is fine. Let's go.
Must be nice back home now. I bet my niece is growing so big. My family. I miss all of them so much.
Yeah, especially your brother. I'm sure you miss him a lot. Given that, you know, you kind of were part of him dying. Anyway, we buffed.
Onwards.
Because we already have our buff on. Let's click this a few times. There we go. I only needed to click it once. This buff is on. Quick save. I think actually none of our buffs were off because it's less than 24 hours. Nice. How long is left on them? 11 hours. Yeah, cool. So I can now chuck green in here. Although it said green or blue, which worries me in that kind of implies that maybe it just doesn't matter. You know, maybe that's the answer. It doesn't matter what you plug in. What? Oh, is this just to let you see? I see. Okay. Blue. I'm gonna make this one blue. I'm gonna take the green from here. That decharges green from everything. Okay. I put green in here. Do you think green is meant to be the lines? Green could be the lines?
Let's move.
And then here. Then blue is like the outside. I don't really understand what I'm doing. This should be obvious at this point. Over here, blue. What have I done? I can press this now? Oh, that makes different lines glow. Okay. Do I have to get the lines to match up to get to the outside? Like, I need to do this? Probably need to do this. Does that make this one green? Green. Blue. And then this one would be blue. Is that it? Then I press the thing. Wait. Did I have it right the first time? It didn't do this the first time. Yeah, see, that goes all the way out, so therefore it must be correct. No? Am I missing a gem? No. Do I need to look for one of these that connects to like a panel that's currently active? No. I mean, maybe I just need to be like green. And then like, I don't know, green? Did I have it right the first time? No. It's starting to be like, did I have it right the first time?
Let
No.
us be off.
Maybe. Wait a second. Maybe I've got the right idea but the wrong solution. Maybe you have to have the lines line up as if they were correct. No, leave it back out there. Leave it back out there. So, you see how this one is kind of correct in here? So maybe I need to find whatever would connect into this one and make it light up. Would that be this here? What should be in the center there? I mean, it should be blue, blue, right? Blue. Blue? What changed? It's giving me no... The problem with this puzzle, right, is that it gives me no feedback at all. Obviously, the 4 in the center have to be the same, because if the 4 in the center are not the same, then it won't let you press that button, right? Essentially, it just won't let you press that button. But, like, I don't really understand what the purpose is of these. Oh, there's a it says right here. The darkness at the bottom of the spring exudes a calm green glow. Whispering can be heard from it. I'm between light and darkness. It said green, right? I am between light and darkness. I am the light. Calm green glow. I just realized all of these had puzzles on them. Green. I'm the light. I'm between the light and the darkness. I am the darkness. Okay, press the button. Oh wait, is that just saying that because it was already green? No, that says calm blue. Calm blue. Calm blue. Calm blue. Maybe this is wrong.
Let's move.
Darkness at the bottom of the spring exudes a calm blue glow. I honestly don't know what I'm working with. I am the darkness. So do I find... But they need to say the darkness at the bottom of the spring exudes a calm blue glow. Okay, I don't even understand how to interface with this puzzle. I'm gonna look up, see if I've got any clues. Okay. If you place all the green crystals in the central 4 springs, you will see that they point to certain glyphs. Or, well, close enough. I love the way that the description of this puzzle is written, because if the puzzle description says, oh, well, it might be close enough, that in of itself is not great. Different pipes light up depending on whether or not you put a blue or green crystals into the central springs. Yes, there are actually 2 solutions to the final puzzle. The main solution is to put green crystals into the 4 outer springs and blue crystals into the central springs Then step on the tiles that the pipes that aren't lit up are pointing to. The pipes that would have lit up if you had put in green springs. The other solution is to do the inverse. This sends you to a secret area containing goggles that increase your cast level by 2. The DC of mind affecting spells you cast by 2. Well, obviously we're doing the other solution. So what's this? You put green in the central 4. Let's try this. Sure. So I go out here. I didn't even realize that these were part of the puzzle. This is part of the problem, is like I didn't even realize that these were, you know, in any way like an interactable object.
Follow me.
To me, I looked at them and I went, they're nothing. Like, they're literally just random symbols. I didn't realize that they were pressure plates. Right, there we go.
March on.
I think part of the issues with puzzles in this game, right? And I'm trying to think of this from a non-salty perspective, as a perspective where I'm like, okay, the puzzle, let's assume that the puzzles are fine, right? And it's the solutions are just, you know, the way that they are. They just weren't obvious to me. But assuming that the puzzles are fine, I think part of the issue is that the UI for the puzzles is not fine. I think that's part of the issue I'm having. So actually knowing what, you know,
Shellen guides me.
yeah, actually knowing what you have to do is a little bit weird. And I think that's not great for a puzzle. I think in general for puzzles, you should know what's going on.
Show me the way.
Although, to be fair, I did just step on all of them and nothing has happened.
The goddess protects
Am I
us.
missing something? Oh, I need to press the button. There we go. So now if I step on these... What? I'm looking at a puzzle solution and I'm seeing like they've got things lit up and I'm like, how is it? Wait.
We should move.
Just checking it wasn't, you know, when it says you need to do it. It didn't, you know, it wasn't meaning something else. Okay. Main solution is to put the green crystals into the 4 outer springs and the 4 blue crystals into the center ones and step on the tiles that the pipes that aren't lit up are pointing to. The other solution is to do the inverse. Alright, let me have a look. So there's one line here somewhere. Although on their screen, if it looks... is that blue? Is that my issue? No, that's green. Their one looks different than my one. Try to like arrange it via tiles.
Onwards.
I'm trying to see if there's like a way to start it. Alright, let me press this again. Step here.
Let us be off.
Search for the beauty with your heart, not your eyes.
Wait, maybe this is it? This might be one of them. Okay.
Marvelous.
This is doing nothing for me. I may have to like stop the video and look it up because
The world has suffered enough.
this is how it's implied to me, right? Is that you step on these.
Let me help. I tread the path.
Like literally nothing is happening. Step on the tiles that the... Maybe I need to have everybody stepping on them? Okay, let's try this again. Let's try
You've got my
everybody
support.
stepping on tiles. So you're going there. You're going there.
My tail
You're
is
going
restless.
there.
Oh, skip the pleasantries.
Nothing is happening. Alright, I'm gonna look it up and be back with you in a second. Okay, so I've looked it up and we were missing something, which made the puzzle unsolvable, which was not a good start. Now, I don't like this puzzle even having seen the solution. I actually now think that this puzzle is just straight up bad, but, you know, here's the bit that we were missing. So this line right here, from this thing down here, this was not active in this direction. This meant that this puzzle was not powered up and therefore didn't work. Personally, I would love something to pop up when you click this to say, like, you know, hey, there's not enough power. Or, you know, like some quip from a character going, I wish I had some power here, you know. You know those really annoying ones in games? Well, they're annoying, but they're quite useful for actually telling you what you need to know. So that would have been good. Now, here, what you have to do is you have to step on the tile which the empty tile is going towards. Now, in this case, that is this tile. Now, you might think it's this one right here. You would be wrong. It's this tile. In this case, same thing. It's that tile. Over here, same thing again. And then over here, exact same thing again. You do that, then you have to press this to lock in your solution, and we have solution number 1, which opens up a little bit of a room at the side. This is a horrible puzzle. Mainly because the puzzle aspect is actually not even, you know, like, oh yeah, that's so cool, or, you know, I get it now. The puzzle's just like, oh, okay, it's just line points here. It's just, you know, kind of disappointing. Generally, I find the way that I judge a good puzzle is, do I feel like I'm the one who didn't figure it out at the end, or was it just obtuse, right? If it's something where I'm like, I should have figured that out earlier, but I didn't, that I think is a good puzzle, once you know the solution. Or like, I get it now, everything falls into place. I think a bad puzzle is one where you're just like, oh, okay, the UI was a little bit bad and it didn't really work. So, there you have it. Now, I believe this is just a loot room, from my understanding of it. Yes, there we go. We got the goggles of mind control. So these goggles grant they wear a +2 inherent bonus to cast level and increase to save DC by 2 for all mind-affecting spells the wearer casts. Now, this could be a Nenio thing. I believe it's an Ember thing for us, thanks to the large number of crowd control spells that she is currently running. She might already have goggles, but if she does, we can swap them with Nenio. Right, so now I've done that, what we need to do is we need to take these all out of here. I should take the green ones out first, because it'll make our life significantly easier. Right, so we take all the green ones out, and we'll replace the green ones with blue ones. I could have done these in one go. So the blue one is the correct solution. Now, here's another problem I have with this. How do you know what the correct solution is before you like put in these crystals? Right? I guess you know what it is because it says blue or green at the bottom of those, but still, it's a little bit arbitrary which one's correct and which one's incorrect, given that the solution to this puzzle is identical. It's absolutely identical, apart from the fact that you put in different gems. Or at least the way that you solve the puzzle is identical, I should say. The solution is minorly different. So on this one,
wrong.
You move too slowly.
My will
I'm also going to quick save here. Stop. There we go.
Search for the beauty with your heart.
I believe this one, it is the end tile in each situation, where at least this kind of points to the end tile. I mean, it's still not really, but, you know.
Marvelous.
There you have it. And then I believe that this should be our way out. Oh, hello. Bow, unworthy one. Bow and tremble before the great Areshkakal. Something about this is wrong. I mean, something else besides this ridiculous demand to bow and tremble. Nenio rubs her nose. This is not the real Aresh Kagel. It's a copy, though it looks very realistic. Ew, is this Nenio as Aresh Kagel? Are we, you know, did we call it? Can we just talk without all these obeisances and pleasantries? Surrender or be cast aside. It does not matter. Your fate will still be the same. Sharp claws suddenly tear into your chest and then withdraw, ready for another strike. I'm almost positive this is just another test. We are supposed to be nothing, and nothing can experience pain. Let's conduct an experiment. What will happen if you don't do anything? Let her just keep hitting you and try to suffer through it. I think this will produce some very interesting results. I am nothing? Are you trying to scare me with your words, to tire me out with empty talk, as if I were merely a vision or a nightmare? Aresh Kagel lashes out at you again, and her claws sink deeper into your chest. Nenio produces a piece of paper from her sleeve and begins to scribble some notes. The experiment is going as planned. Please continue. I am nothing. Aresh Kagel's voice drips with contempt. Nothing, not, pathetic nobody. She strikes again, and you feel her claws rip open your chest. Yes, keep going. You have to convince her. If my expert opinion is correct, she'll soon succumb to our sophistry. Or you will die. Those are the only two possible outcomes. I can't watch this madness. Did you go all the way to the abyss and back just to let this beast kill you? Pull yourself together. I am nothing. Nothing cannot suffer or feel pain. Nothing does not exist. Aresh Kagel's claws sink into your chest once more, but this time they pass straight through your body as if you were made of air. The unworthy one has become nothing. It's impossible. Oh. Okay, we definitely had something happen there. We healed? Oh. Well, that's nice. We'll look at what it is in a second. It's just, it doesn't really matter for buffing. So it's a level 45 magical beast. It has a few buffs. We'll get rid of those in a second. Apart from that, should be fine. Just kill it. It's immune to electricity, or so it says. There's a ton of different things that it could do. Cool. It's also shaken right now, which is kind of neat. I'm going to use a 5 to walk towards it. Then I'm going to hit it. I'm going to try and hit it with this. This might not work, but let's try it anyway. It might get an attack of opportunity. Failed to dispel everything. Fair enough. We tried. Alright. Woljif, charge. Critical miss. Well, that's not good. Disintegrate? Is it immune to death? It is not immune to death. Well, disintegrate seems good then. 39 damage. Fair enough. Now, it's not immune to death. Nenio could just straight up kill it. It wouldn't even be that difficult. I'm going to deliberately not do that, just because I think it would make the fight a little anticlimactic after all this time. Let's do a level 3 haste. Hit everybody but Darren, and really that's fine. Does basically no damage to us. Cool. Charge? Cannot charge. Take a step back. Cast Jolting. It's immune to electricity. Cast Searing Light. We rolled a 1 and didn't overcome the spell resistance. Okay. Study target. Shoot it.
You've crossed the wrong mark.
Ooh, strength's decreasing with each hit, and we did so much damage. Oh my lord. Talk about anticlimactic ends to the fight. Holy. Oh, it's destroyed. It's only got 20 strength right now. Alright, Aeon's Bane, and then hit it. We killed it. Or like, I guess we didn't, because it wasn't real.
Rules are made to be broken.
Okay. I didn't actually heal on the Minde there because it didn't hit. This is the way out, right? Yeah. To Pyramid
Follow
Summit,
me.
where we will find out that Nenio is a Reshkagal. Maybe. I don't know. That's my current working theory, so let's see what we get. Also, for the previous puzzle, huge shout out to the Fextra Life wiki for actually having written instructions for the puzzle.
March on.
I watched videos, I watched images,
We should
written
move.
instructions, very
I'll
good.
make my
I mean, they
own
did use the same image as everyone else, which makes me think that they probably just copied someone else's guide, like
Onwards.
90% of them, and then wrote their own description over the top of it, but, you know, it was helpful. Hello. Oh no, this is a Reshkagal then. So not Nenio. Probably. This grain of sand has found its way to the truth. Its persistence deserves reward, but any impudence will be punished. The familiar faceless voice takes on the form of the demon lord Reshkagal, the faceless sphinx. Reshkagal, I have so many questions for you. Trembling with excitement, Nenio produces a crumpled piece of paper from her sleeve. What is life and where did it come from? Who created the very first god? Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Nenio stops abruptly. She turns towards you slowly and says in a dry, emotionless voice, the absence of an answer is an answer too. Not every riddle needs to be solved. Some must simply be accepted. Impudence will be punished. Nenio, how long have you been serving a Reshkagal? Nenio is nothing. It is a grain of sand, lost in the vast expanse of existence. It has no purpose of its own, no will of its own, no past or future, no name. Nenio's body twitches. She grimaces slightly, then becomes motionless again. It is an anomaly. It is an apostate. A nihility that tried to become something. It rejected its own essence and took on the name Nenio. The will of a Reshkagal, the will of the universe itself, has been fulfilled. Now the anomaly will once more dissolve into nothingness. It will return to its previous state of non-existence. But Nenio was flesh and blood. She cannot be nothing. The body belongs to a faceless sphinx cultist from Tianxia. The cultist completed a pilgrimage to Evistan, opened the path to the Enigma, and appeared before the faceless sphinx. She swore an oath, rejected her own existence, and became nothing. She forgot her name and dissolved into timelessness. This cultist body was recreated to complete a sacred mission on Golarion. The anomaly was given shape so it could serve the purposes of the universe, but it proved to be faulty. The anomaly altered its mind, excluding everything irrelevant and replacing it with whatever it deemed interesting. It took a false name and found a false purpose. Even so, the anomaly has still fulfilled its true purpose. Everything is as the universe intended. You should take a lesson from that, grain of sand. What do you want from me? Reshkagal's will is the will of the universe. Reshkagal reads the secrets of the universe like an open book. She does not share any knowledge. Not every riddle needs to be solved, but she will allow you to become part of the riddle, a part of herself. She will give the grain of sand a higher purpose. She will allow it to serve a cause bigger than its tiny self. She will make the grain of sand her avatar, power in exchange for service, meaning in exchange for usefulness. What will happen to Nenio? If the grain of sand needs the anomaly, it will stay. It is of no importance to the universe. What will I have to do as your avatar? The grain of sand will become a conduit for Reshkagal's will. It will serve as an instrument of reality itself. It does not need to know more. Let it be satisfied with the knowledge that it will serve a higher purpose. I have some unfinished business on Golarion. Reshkagal will not demand immediate service. The grain of sand will have time to finish what it started before it is summoned. The faceless sphinx will accept the oath and will grant her mask to the grain of sand. The grain of sand will put it on and join the nothingness. It will join the universal consciousness. However, the last step to becoming an avatar is something that the grain of sand must do on its own. The person who opened the rift between the worlds, the one who proudly bears the name of Areelu Vorlesh, she thinks she can control the universe. inconceivable insolence, unimaginable foolishness. She must be stopped. She must be punished. She must be shown the error of her ways. Ereshkigal pauses for a moment as if considering something. Yes, soon the grain of sand will eliminate the one who opened the rift. It is important that while doing so, the grain of sand is wearing the mask of the faceless sphinx. The demon lord's face is concealed, but you can still feel her imposing stare. Do it. Do as I command, and earn your place beside me. Absolutely not. Do you wish to deprive me of my free will? We took everything that makes me who I am. What is free will? What is personality? They're just masks of self-deception and conceit. The grain of sand should have learned this during its time in the Enigma. The grain of sand is nothing. Nothing cannot possess anything. Ereshkigal does not take away, she only rewards. Ooh, okay, so if we're a legend path at this point, we could go, aha, well actually, you know, we've got a purpose and, you know, we could work with that, but I'm going to say I reject your offer. The grain of sand's consent was needed to simplify the process. A refusal to give consent would lead to complications, but not alternatives. The grain of sand will become Ereshkigal's avatar, for that is the will of the universe. Alright, let's go. Oh, hello. Didn't expect that one. I'll be honest, this is a level 42 mythical beast with a level 10 mythic wizard. It's got a few buffs on it, not a ton. Immune to a bunch of energy, but like that doesn't affect us because the only energy we're going to use is ice, so that'll be fine. Prone, true seeing, and petrified. Okay, it's immune to all three of those apparently. Poison, death, ability score, damage, and drain. Okay. Well, let's start. Well, what does this go into? This goes into Swift, right? We'll do our free actions. We'll hit you with a Swift Dispel, which has dispelled everything but power attack, which I don't even think can be dispelled. And then we're going to hit you 3 times. Are we happy with that? Yes.
We won't falter.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, there's nothing more to dispel, so that's nothing we need to worry about. We take a step backwards, hit it with Polar Ray. Actually, what's your touch AC? 31. Still hit it with Polar Ray. That hit, it dealt 0 damage. Why? It's immune to cold. I thought Nenio, wait. I thought Nenio bypassed cold. Did I only think about taking that and never actually took it? I think I never took that. I think I was thinking about taking it later. Oh. Wait, all this time I've been like, we can just hit through people's immunities with for cold. That's not at all what she has. Alright, well, the more you know. Go invisible.
Now we are making a mystery of her
There we go.
source.
We summoned the Shadow Demon, which does cold damage. Alright, you have 8 attacks. You are currently hasted. Is everybody else hasted? Yeah, we're still hasted from the previous fight. That's pretty good. Could use transformation. I think I'm probably better off just attacking. I'm really hoping for a crit at some point. Nope. Alright, Darren. You're going to walk out this far, because you're allowed to. Then I'm going to use a small walk to walk out the rest. Can I not use my walk action to walk out further? No. Okay, I guess that would have to be my full walk action for the turn. You undead? Nope. Do we have any temporary buffs that would be good? I'm trying to even think if he has a temporary buff. No. Well, I think I'm going to leave him there. I don't think there's a reason to attack. I think we would just be upset about the consequences. So we can make our weapon holy. Our weapon would be holy and unholy. That's very funny. Let's do that and attack.
Gone, fiend!
Oh, he's also somewhere else? I thought that was him, but that's not. Okay. Take a step back. Study target and attack.
You won't survive me.
We hit it. Okay, it doesn't take ability score damage, but that's okay. They're immune to Gaze of Enigma, which would probably have been quite a problem. What's it do? Creature must pass a will saving throw or suffer 15d6 damage of a random type and gain 1 negative level for 1 hour. A successful saving throw halves the damage and negates the negative levels. Okay, so I'm guessing we're immune to... as it just says we're immune to all of it? Yeah. Okay, well that's pretty good. And then use pattern. This would make creatures have negative effects, which I assume we were also immune to. Yeah, okay. Well, buff, 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 and attack. Oh, we summoned another one. Okay. I'm guessing it summons the illusion versions that it had before. Yeah, so it summons the illusion versions. That's cool. We're going to take a step back. Now, what are you immune to again? Now we know that we can't just hit you with ice. Electricity, fire, cold, and acid. Acid is pretty bad, given that we have that on Wolgiv twice, and we took off his weapon that did Sonic. We are still hasted. Trying to figure out if we have another one. I mean, this does just this does force damage. Can we hit you with magic missile? Yeah. Okay. Magic missile. Cool. It's not a lot of damage, but you know, it's something. Stab.
Stab you or zap you. Why not both? Can't you just die already?
Hey, critical hit. Now the reason I wanted critical hit is because I realized that I've not been using his spells that I got from him being level 20. Yeah, there we go. He's got spell critical. It'll be cast as a swift action. Cool. We should try that. Take a step back. Heal. I also think we only really want to care about the boss. I could be wrong about this though. Also, do you think the floor is actually on fire? It might be this entire bit of the floor is on fire. Oh yeah, I think it is. Okay. Well, I'm not overly worried about it. Got anything else I could do? Yeah, I could use Touch of Good on ourselves and then attack it. That's some good damage. Lan. Shoot it. Oh, we got it down to half HP. It disappears. Oh, it becomes a person. No, that was so stupid. It becomes many, many enemies. You think I should be shooting this with the Midnight Bolt? That's something to consider. I wonder, can I quick save at this point?
Now we are making a mystery
I don't
of
think so.
ourselves.
No. Okay, I wanted to see whether I could quick save to see whether I could hit it with Midnight Bolt later. So these are just marked as Sphinx. Yeah. So none of these are Reshkago currently, apart from the 2 illusions. Okay. That's fine. Let's do this. Judgment Aura. And wait, these 2 are friendly currently? Okay, attack. I definitely want to retry this and shoot them with the Midnight Bolt. Now that I've thought of that as an idea. Hit him. Well, we killed it. Wait, are the other ones undead? They are. Oh, okay. So I should be able to do a quicken spell here. Yeah, this would be quickened. Oh, that's cool. Wait, can I then quicken my dimension door? Oh, I quicken dimension door and use it as a way of getting around the level.
Distract them from me.
Oh, that's really cool. I like that. They're not able to move. Is that because we've moved away? Yes, it is. Okay, so if we come back, they can move. Okay. is because we're making them immune to mind-affecting effects, but only while we're next to them. Rift of Ruin, that's fine. Shoot this one.
Endure this.
That's a lot of misses. Okay, the Sphinxes are coming in here. We are going to charge back over here, which should hopefully mean that the confusion doesn't affect us. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I think that's what's going to happen here. Weird. Get anything that we can with weird, basically. Can you charge over here? No. Can you stab the one that's next to you? Yeah. Nice, he got another crit. Darren. Oh, taking shots. Not bad. No, we are still confused. Maybe we become unconfused next turn? Yeah, we're unconfused now. Okay, cool. Although he already did his move action. Okay. Nice attack of opportunity. Just as he tried to walk by. Okay. Another nice attack of opportunity. Study? Shoot. At least we did some AoE damage. Turn that on. Attack.
Strike with all your might.
Very good damage. Okay, the pattern is moved. Maybe. One of those. That's another dead thing. Okay, Shadow Demon's moving. I'm going to use teleport. Get out of here. And then attack.
To share your treasures.
Cool. Heal. Can you charge and kill this? You can? Perfect. And that summons us a Gallo. Hey, some more Sphinxes.
Did we find trouble?
I'm happy to fight in this area. They're running in at us. Are these all the Reshkagals? They are. Oh, wow. Social? You're in a bit of a bind there, mate. Nice dispels. Attacking our Gallo before it even gets to do anything. Well, I guess they're not attacking Social if they're attacking our Gallo. Do you have anything that's worth casting? No. Could try phantasmal stuff, like phantasmal web, or what about this one? They might not be immune to it. Yeah, and this will lower their wisdom. And it does damage to them. Yeah, let's do this. We dealt wisdom damage to these guys. Cool, cool. That's kind of cool. And we got our belt summoned to Shadow. Or maybe healed our Shadow. I could summon here. It seems a little chaotic for a summon, but on the other side of things, fire. Okay, I guess not. Shoot. Cool, nice crit. Charge. This one's all electrified. Wait, do they all have different effects on them? Unique ability on their bite attacks. Oh, I see. Yeah, so they're all going to do a different elemental thing. That's cool. Shoot it.
Make every strike count.
Can I charge here? Yes. Really wasn't worth it, given that we missed.
This is not my time yet.
He's dead. Okay. And that's fine.
Still fight.
We could maybe bring him back. We are extremely hurt as well. Attack?
We can do it.
Okay.
I need your assistance.
Nanio? These guys are still immune to death, huh? They're not immune to death? Oh. Well, that's weird. Oh, none of them got killed, but their will saving throw was too high. They do have a plus 63 to it, to be fair. That's a pretty good roll. Okay, Resurrection. Lan. I think he resurrects over here, which is fine. Oh, is our haste worn off? Our haste has worn off. Haste. Should have done more buffs earlier in the fight. As it turns out, they would have been worth it. Lan is still down for this turn. Charge.
I can still fight.
Hey, he did damage, at least. I know that he's got last stand on, so we can do all these charging and getting hits as much as we like. We also have last stand on. Right. Attack it. Yeah, this isn't good.
I need your assistance.
Weird's not gonna work. Constricting coils? They have a huge will save. That's the problem with all of these, is their will save is too big. They're still immune to all the elements? Yeah. Okay, so they're kind of made to counter Nenio in a way, I think. Could do Icy Prison Mass. They would be immune to the damage. Yeah. Just seeing if we have anything else. Joyful Rapture. Freed from any emotion effects. That's not really going to help us. We can Invisibility Mask. Let's see if we have anything else. Might just be Magic Missile. I do... Wait, I have Key Shout. Yeah, Key Shout will work. That's sonic damage. 35. Okay, that's better than nothing. Heal Mass. There we go. Just heal up what we can. That's fine. Okay. I'm tempted to use Transformation. I should have used it as one of our free actions before. He just got a critical. Wonderful. We can use it as a free action when he, you know. Lan, are you okay? Lan's not okay. Lan is very much not okay. Lan is going to skip this turn. But yeah, we can use the free spell to get Transformation on him for even more damage. Seems good. Use a Touch of Good and attack. Good damage.
I can.
Oh, that's not good. What did they just do to us? Or is it just the fact that he fell? It's just the fact that he fell put us into heavy. Okay, not great. Attack? I guess I should be marking it as a thing and then attacking. Okay, we got another crit. We only have one turn left. Weird is not going to work, although it's a 1 in 20 chance. So, you know, might as well try. It's not really a 1 in 20 chance, but you know, that's fine. Hey, we got -4 strength on one of them. That's a positive. The reason why it's not a 1 in 4 chance is... sorry, the reason it's not a 1 in 20 is because there's 4 guys here, so that would change it. But it also, it has to do 2. It has to do like a Fortitude and a Will save, so yeah, even if they fail the Will like this one did, they still have to do a Fortitude one afterwards. Which I believe it must have succeeded at. Okay. I need to heal Mass here, because if we take more damage, we'll die. Right. Woljif. Transformation. Which is a swift action here. And then 8 attacks. Very nice damage. Okay, Woljif has not gone into last stand yet, which is important for us to know. Gonna mark that one. And then I'm gonna take a step back. Yeah, and then probably use one of these. Cool. Wait, we dispelled... Wait, no. That had the same dispel effect, but I don't think we dispelled anything. I think we just got the buff. Okay. One of them is stunned this turn. Weird kind of worked. What does this do in terms of damage? Fire. Okay, how about this? Cool. That kind of works. We're getting there. Shadow Demon's doing stuff here. We're going to do a resurrection on Social, which will hopefully mean that we're not going to be quite as overweight as we were a second ago. Woljif. Walk forward, stab. Huge damage. Land, you're going to walk a little closer. Mark as your target. Maybe you can't do that. Shoot. Can't shoot. Shooting's not allowed. Has he got something on from just having been resurrected? Maybe he can't do anything right now? Maybe. He can move, but he can't do anything else. Okay. So he might as well just be out. Probably shouldn't res anyone else then. We're just going to take a second back here to think about what we're doing. We hit one of these. Failed to overcome spell resistance. That's fine. We got hit. That's fine. Battering blast. Knock it back. Okay. Shadow Demon's off on a journey. Let's do a heal here. Cool. Woljif, stab the one in front of you. Do you have spell critical on? No, you don't? Okay. You got another critical, so therefore we can get more spells. That's fine. Right, what's our plan here? We need more of a plan. I've got some of these I should be using. I could use Starlight. That's probably a good one. What else have I got? I can make... What are these edicts? These edicts are become invincible, I think. Basically. Edict of Fortress and Perseverance. Invulnerability to any physical damage. Yeah. Let's do that. So we're just not going to take damage right now. Well, that definitely didn't seem to work for him. Worked for Woljif though, so I guess he was out of range. Battering blast on you. Just keep pushing it back. This one's been out for a while. It's not had a turn in so long. Or at least not a meaningful turn. Shoot. Okay, stab.
Distract them from me.
Oh, I forgot to do the spell. After noting that I had the spell. Shoot.
You won't survive me.
Okay, he still doesn't get a turn. Might as well just not bother rezzing. Critical hit for 1. Just love to see it. Right, attack. Very good. We've dispelled some things. Anywho. Get this one away. Okay. There's a lot of stuff happening here. You're gonna just shoot, or I could summon, I suppose. I tried to summon before and it failed. Wait, summoning doesn't work because they're all gonna do elemental damage apart from earth. So let's summon an earth elemental. Yeah. Let's go. Stab this one. Oh wait, do you still have spell critical on? No. Okay, stab.
Time to share your treasures.
Very good damage from Woljif. He's basically carrying this entire fight. Attack. How many more turns do I have that for? Like 2? 1 round per 5 caster levels. Okay, so a few. I'm out of these. I have no object bonds to do any more. What's next? Probably what's next is that we start using Magic Missile. Yeah, we'll probably start using Magic Missile. Okay. Magic missile. Not really a lot of damage, but there you go. Darren, I will take another rock elemental, please. Thank you. Right. Should have done that earlier as well. Sunder armor is great. Yep, that allows us
Cover me, all right?
some lower AC to hit against. He doesn't even try and attack anymore. You're hitting Wolja for full damage. That's horrible news. That means that we need to reapply this. Okay. Attack. Okay. Nice critical hit for 1. Do this. Do we still have haste on? We do, but, you know, it's only on for another minute. Okay. Chill. Don't know what was happening there. Something was happening. Rift of Ruins were being cast, but I didn't see anything happen. Maybe to our shadow demon over here or something? No? Okay, who knows? Who knows? Right. You know what I do know, though? I do know that a 3rd rock elemental is really what we needed in this fight. There we go. Just keep using Sunder armor and it will keep failing. That's okay. Do we have spell critical? Nope. Stab it.
Stab you or dab you. Why not both?
We did just get a crit there, so we now have spell critical available. You still don't have a turn. It's now just kind of lying down on us. Attack it. Lots of 1 damages. Magic missile. Okay. That's enough of those. What about a bunch of these guys? Sure, like a frost giant, just 1. There we go. That's what we needed. We now get a free spell, Sacred Nimbus. These guys evil? They are evil. Okay, Sacred Nimbus. That was a standard action, but that was a spell. That shouldn't have been a standard action. Is this not a spell? That says spell. Okay, so that's a spell that... Okay, fine, whatever. Whether I believe it should have activated that way or not, that's the way it works. 1 enemy left. Okay. Magic missile. Darren, probably a big heal time. Let's go. Frost Giant missed due to concealment. All of our Earth Elementals are walking in to try their shot at it. We no longer have... No, we now have spell critical still. Okay. You can't use a spell? Does this stop you from using spells? No? Why can I not use your spells then? Spellcasting forbidden. But why? Am I missing something here? What effect does he have on him that stops spellcasting now? Now I'm confused. Does Sacred Nimbus stop spellcasting? I guess so. It doesn't say that it stops it, but it's the only thing I applied. Okay,
Distract
attack.
them for me.
Nice, we got another crit. Attack. Now, is this thing off? Yeah, our invulnerability appears to have fallen off, which is a problem. Do we have anything that we could use? Guess I could just use the one that makes people invulnerable. Also cast Dictum on the same target. Yeah. What's Dictum? It's one of these. Supernova. Is it a lower one? Warders Wrath I have twice. Prediction. True form. What's true form? Nope. Okay, that's fine. I don't know what dictum is. Apparently I would cast it on the target. I just want to know if it's good or not. Who knows? Yeah, I have no idea. What's this? Absolute order? Nope. Let's try this then. This is good, right? Yeah, I cast this on you in the hopes that that does something. Dictum did a spell to everyone else. Okay. So what is it? So he uses it. If the hit dice is up to your cast level -1, it's staggered, paralyzed, staggered, killed. Okay, so that affected everybody, including like Nenio. Okay, well it's not good, but fair enough. Attack. We can't attack. Okay, fine. This is okay. We're out of what we need to be using. Maybe invisibility mass. Can't see any of us. Apart from the shadow demon. Right, heal. I've kind of lost the plot, I'll be honest. I don't know where I'm going with any of this. Stab.
Time to share your treasures.
It's been severely stabbed. Land still doesn't have a turn. Fair enough. Attack. It's been stunned. Okay. Key shout. Cool. Shoot it.
Out of my sight.
Please don't have a last form. Stab it.
Cover me, all right? Won't you just die
It's
already?
dead. Sort of. Talk to Nenio? Wait. Is somebody dead? Nenio. Nenio's not in our party. Okay.
I welcome your company.
Can I get a res, please, on Social? Right, I don't know what it is that's causing us damage here. It's something. Bunch of things just drop dead.
Oh, the waiting's never
Right,
fun.
where's our heal? Heal mass. There we go. I don't know what's causing damage. I'll be honest, it's something, but I don't know what it is. Grab the loot while we're here. Mask of nothing. Okay, probably shouldn't be wearing that. I'm gonna quick save. I'm gonna reload before the fight. Now, that was 40 minutes ago, but that's okay. The reason I'm reloading before the fight is very simple. I simply want to shoot one midnight bolt into the enemy. That's it. If it does something, cool. If it doesn't do something, cool. Then we're going to reload. But I want to know whether it would do something. Because it's a demon. So let's go. We have midnight bolts. We can do this. Right, so you go through here, blah de blah de blah, over this way.
Let us be off.
Hello. There's so much of this that doesn't matter. Yeah, so we say, how long have you been serving? She's flesh and blood. What do you want from me? I have unfinished business. What happened to Nenio? What will you do? Free will. I reject your offer. Right. So. Hope land goes early in the turn order. It does its teleport. That's fine. Don't need to do anything. All I need to do is go in here, type in ascending, We'll look for the midnight bolts. Yeah, you could put all of them on if you wanted, I suppose. You know. There we go. Backpack. Equip midnight bolt.
You
Shoot.
crossed the wrong mongrel.
That didn't seem to do anything? No, I mean it did the damage that the midnight bolt does, but it didn't do anything special. Cool. Right. That's all I needed to know. My confirmation. Maybe it would have done something extra at the end. Who knows? But there you have it. I'm assuming it's just going to be like, you killed it. And that's what we're going to work from. Okay. So. Continue waiting. And back here. Hello, Nenio. Also, added benefit. No random AoE effects because we reloaded the game. Isn't that lovely? An anomaly, an apostate, a nihility that tried to become something. A nihility that tried to become something, rejected its own essence and took on the name Nenio. But this was merely a mask, a hollow shell that gave temporary shape to its nothingness. An insignificant variable in the universe's equation. An infinitesimal quantity. Nothing. Is this true? It is pointless to doubt the axiom. The anomaly only exists because it is Reshkago's will. Is the circle tattoo on your shoulder also related to Reshkago? She examines her shoulder indifferently. The anomaly desired to do something instead of nothing. It tried to reject its natural state. In a twist of cosmic irony, the anomaly tried to distinguish itself as something by marking its body with the symbol of nothing. Your amazing ability to forget everything you consider irrelevant, is that a gift from Reshkago too? Knowledge and ignorance are just two spheres of the same plane. Where one of them ends, the other begins. The great Reshkago holds domain over both, deciding where and how one should morph into the other. Her followers possess the same powers, at least in regard to their own pitiful knowledge and memories. In its desire to become something more, the anomaly forgot everything else, and then it drew a false conclusion about its own uniqueness. Let's leave this place, Nenio. She starts to take a step forward, then freezes. Nothing should remain nowhere. It should stop striving to become something. Okay. Let's see. You don't want to leave your encyclopedia unfinished. I do like that one. Let's see. I think we'll just try talking. I saw how you resisted Reshkago's will. You didn't want to listen to her. You cannot be nothing because nothing has no desires of its own. This is a logical argument, but what Reshkago says is also true. So what course of action should be taken when two truths contradict each other? She pauses to think. Is it possible to accept one of them and consider the other conditional? Yes, I wish. She falters. The anomaly's wishes are irrational. There is a large probability of error, and the risk of making an incorrect decision is too high. You're a magical creation, I understand that. But that doesn't make you nothing. What about other magical aberrations? Take golems, for example, or elementals. What makes you different from them? They are real, they are something. Some of them even possess the ability to think and reason. It is illogical to challenge that's an obvious truth. Matter changes its form and gains new characteristics. Steam can become solid ice, iron can melt into brass, and a cloud of gas can transform into a new star. Right, then I guess I will accept your point of view as the truth. After all, I like it more than the other one. She looks around as if seeing everything for the first time and rubs her nose. This place is so boring. Why did I want to come here? Oh yes, new knowledge and experiment. Our whole life is a fascinating experiment with an unknown conclusion. I should have known that no one was going to give me any exclusive, new, super important secret knowledge for free. Knowledge is gained through sweat, blood, pain, and experiments. Alright, I think we should move on now. Lead the way, and I'll think of a new research project for us to conduct together. As for this experiment, I suggest that we consider it complete. Nenio falls silent and looks away. Also, thank you, girl, Naminde, for all that I remember and all that I've forgotten. Aha! And we have finished more than nothing. To the main halls? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh, we have to go to the main halls? Okay. I was like, I want the exit. None of these are the exit. Fair enough. We walk so slowly. What happened to us? We're overloaded, that much is certain. But like, why? What happened? Alright, so what was this? Impending Eclipse. It's probably for you. Makes the wearer immune to elemental damage for the first 3 rounds of combat. I mean, that's neat. Is it better than DR6 against ranged weapon attacks? I don't know, probably not. Mask, which cannot be worn by Nenio. Wait, can it only be worn by us? Oh, because, yes, because they asked us to wear it when we fought Areelu Vorlesh. Well, obviously I'm not going to do it. This cursed mask, no. I'm not going to wear that. This cursed mask grants its wearer a plus 20 insight bonus in all saving throws, as well as a 50% mischance and total concealment, which isn't revealed by true seeing. It also grants a plus 3 insight bonus on all knowledge, lore, use magic device, perception, and trickery skill checks. This mask doesn't work against Ereshkigal's followers, and its wearer suffers a -6 penalty on all saves and AC while in the Ereshkigal's domain. It can only be equipped by the player character. Yeah, no. I think that's a no from me, personally. Yeah. I'm not going to equip that. Kinda don't really even want it, but that's fine. I don't know why we're so overloaded. I guess it's because we lost this on a couple of people.
Just yet.
There we go. Yes, now we're only under heavy,
Let us be off.
which is much more acceptable. What is the heaviest thing that we have? We have 2 of these. Okay, well, drop them. 6 of these, drop them. We're gonna pick them all up later, so drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Don't know why I'm not dropping the magical stuff, even though I like logically just went, you know, I'm gonna pick it all up. No, don't drop that one. That one's like actually special. Drop, yeah, drop them. There we go. That'll solve our issues. Too many swords. Right. Let's first of all have a look at Nenio. More than nothing. Can darkness acquire awareness and cease to be nothing? The indefatigable researcher Nenio has suddenly realized that there is more, that the more important element in our experiment is our very own existence. Cool. I guess the other one is Nenio becomes nothing. But maybe if Nenio becomes nothing, Nenio doesn't come with you. That would seem logical. But,
Let's move.
yes. The reason why I'm going to keep going here is because I absolutely do not want to be in this place at the start of next episode. It's just a bad, it's just a bad thing. You know when they say like don't go to bed angry, all of that sort of stuff. You know, it's the same logic here. We can't leave the game in this place because then I'll know that you know, when I come back, I'm gonna have to see this place, right? I'll know that when I come back, I'm gonna have to see it. So we can't have that. It's just not allowed. So we're gonna leave. There we go. We're almost there. To Golarion. Freedom. Yeah, of course I'm gonna pick up all the loot. Are you crazy? Right. We're not done yet though, because our picking up loot plan has another step, I believe. Because also the strangers are still all here. We can move. We can move. Okay, but actually what we're gonna do is to make this quicker. Where's my 200 swords? That'll probably help. 30 of those, 19 of those, one of those, the 9 severed heads, that, 15 of those, 7 of those, 2 of those. There we go.
March on.
We're back to medium. We're almost out. Almost out. Just a couple more steps. You know what? Because we're going to teleport at the end of this. There we go. Haste. Is it complete overkill for leaving an area? Yes. Does it in some way trigger like that bit in my brain filled with endorphins? Yes. So this is why we're doing it. Right.
Onwards.
Area exit. I will collect all the loot, including the severed heads, I guess, which we still have. And then we are free. We never have to come back here again. Let's not talk about that again. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.